there's one word, Lord Jigten Sumgun, he said, Buddha talked according to the mode of abiding. The mode of abiding. Mode of abiding means it's not Buddhist philosophy. It's universal. How everything constitutes. Abide within in the dimension of the causality. That's very important. Then Buddha realized totally the mode of abiding, how things are abided, how things are constituted. Then Buddha talked according to this, not Buddha's invention. These are things very important. Sometimes we think Buddhism as a religion, Buddha invented, you know. A lot of religions are invention, you know. Some individual thinker, they invented, said, then talked as religion. Buddhist, where is the Buddhist? Buddha teaching? We should know the Buddha didn't invent. What Buddha taught is taught according to the universally how samsara, nirvana are constituted according to their characteristics, according to their nature. See, so that's how Buddha taught. That's why Buddha's teachings, I went this way, I have reached to this place, so this is my experience that I'm explaining you. See, it's something I think is very kind of a unique, very scientific. So that's why Buddha says, my teaching is for every sentient beings. So if now I fail to turn it on my profits, so if I don't gain of any of these, the inferior person's goal, mediocre person's goal, superior person's goal, if I don't gain any of those, while I have this precious human life, then how could such chance to be mine again? How I get chance next life? Well, I have this opportunity. No? If I don't do it, then if I born as like a dog on the street, how that can achieve the benefit? Get the profit from that life to achieve enlightenment, to free from samsara. Sometimes as we say prayer, may I born in the pure land, you know, may I born as a precious human life. Sometimes we say, this life I could not practice Dharma well. I will try my best in my next life. That's kind of little strange, you know. When we have this precious human life, we could not do this. Now, next life, if you're born as a dog, how you can do this? No matter how much you say the prayers. It's very impractical, isn't it? So see these things. Has Buddha's wisdom, you see. It's not just kind of like this scholar, not scholar. It's not that idea. Idea is to really to understand the point and put it into practice. Sometimes we spend too much time in the study, analyzing. See, and that also, for some extent, is, of course, we have to analyze, but we cannot spend all time in analyzing. We have to practice, you see. Go to retreat, meditate. This is a very important point.
Hello.
Yes.
Rinpoche, what is the quality and content of retreat and practice that you mentioned just now? Yeah.
Retreat, what I said is, of course, it also depends individual, you see. There's many ways to practice Dharma. See. The best choice is to go to retreat, spend time, and practice what you have understood. If you don't get, or if you don't have that kind of time, say, my life is busy. I cannot go to retreat. Then you remind yourself daily that what you understood, put into practice. You see, what kind of shortcoming I have, that purify. See, I have this kind of shortcoming. Looking back to our own mind. So that's important.
Maybe Rinpoche can share more about what is really going on during the retreat. Other than in normal days, we look at our shortcoming and try to purify. But in a retreat, during the retreat, what are the activities that actually that makes a difference from our daily practice? Thank you.
Or if you get a chance to go to retreat, then there's there's what call courses. So you do this practice first, and then second this, third this, step by step. All are this course designed step by step. So your whole being is concentrated into that. So you only focus on those, nothing else. No. Om Banza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Bandra Sato Tenaba, Teta Tedo Membawa, Soto Kayo Membawa, Sopo Kayo Membawa, Anorat, Sarva Siddhime Prayata, Sarva Karma Sutamen, Chetan Shriya Guru Hum Ha 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 Hom, Sarva Tatan Kadam, Barzama Memuzam Barzam, Samaya Sato. Maybe I should mention briefly about the writer of this book. Shantideva, he was born as a prince, a son of a king. And then he was grown up in that kingdom, got opportunity to study general knowledge. And then his father, the king, passed away. So then all the people in that country made arrangement, his enthronement to be the king of the country. So next day, when the enthronement ceremony is going to perform, that night he got a dream that Manjushri appeared. Manjushri said, "I'm your teacher, and this throne is my throne, so you cannot sit on my throne." So next day when he woke up, I should not be king of the country. So he left the country and went to Nalanda. And then he met a great master there. Then he studied all this Buddhist philosophy, the teachings, different sutras. So then, he got the name Shantideva. So after he received all those instructions, then he put into practice. He put into practice such a way he did not involve any of the activities in the Nalanda University. He received the food and sleep and go to toilet. That much. And he passed time that way, but in the mind full of meditation practices, bodhicitta, the philosophy of the emptiness, realization, so forth. All his attention put there. So after some time, the monks, they discuss. So Shantideva is now becoming such kind of lazy person, not doing anything about the monasteries, chanting, performance, or anything. So he's just wasting the energy and offerings, of the monastery and the people. He must be doing something. But since he have not special broken the law or monks disciplines, so monks the community they're discussing how we can get him out. So then they got idea. Every monk, like once a month or something, have to talk about Dharma. So Shantideva, you look at now he's not interested in reading books or anything. So he's like stupid. So then, if we start this kind of arrangement, then just automatically he will leave the monastery. So they agreed about their discussion, the meeting. So then they turn each monk to give talk. So then came Shantideva's turn. Then the monks, they advertise more in the village. So let us see what he will do that day. And they made a very high throne. So that the Shantideva ascent, climbed on the throne. And then he asked all the monks, should I talk something that which is not talked before? What should I do? And they said, maybe you can talk something which we don't know. That's how it started here. So I have nothing to say that which is not talked before. So then he is just starting this all the teachings, And then the monks were so kind of past there, embarrassed because they thought he knows nothing. So in the opposite, he knows everything. And then they were so inspired, and then he started flying in the sky and disappeared. So later they found him another place. So there are some discussions, and some confusion. How many stanzas are there? So they asked him. You mentioned something there. Other texts, we don't know where are they. So he explained this, that, all explained. So that's how Shantideva. So I heard there are so many commentaries wrote on this book later, even in India. And then they translated some in Tibet. And once this root text was translated, there's so many commentaries also written by great masters. So as mentioned, this book served so many because it's touched the heart. As mentioned, it's not just a religion, it's not just spiritual, it just touches the heart and brings some benefit to every individual. So that's how. So just a short. Then I'm sure there are a lot of his life stories are translated. You can read those. Now, the stanza 5. And this is said now here, just as flash of lightning on a dark, cloudy night, for an instant, for one instant, brightly illuminates all. So in this world, through the might of the Buddha, a positive attitude rarely and briefly appears. This is called the working basis of the mind. Now, first we talked about the body. Now mind, why we need to study, practice these teachings. He said, dark night, day and night. So it is night. And there's no moon, black or dark. And there's a cloud, no stars. In such kind of, during that period, and some short lightning appears, manifests. That lightning allows you see things very clearly, but it's very short. So this is, first this example. Just look at the example. You have something on your table. At night you cannot see. It's night, not daytime. There's no sunshine. Then it's dark, black, because there's no moon. And if there's some stars, if you see, they may also allow to see you, but also cloudy, so no stars. In such, you cannot see anything on your table. During that time, if there's some flash lightning there, short, you can see very precisely, yet it's so short. So that's the example. Likewise, rarely through the Buddha's power, virtuous thoughts rise, brief and transcend in the world. Likewise, in our mind, now look at our own mind, thinking, we are thinking so much. Thoughts comes constantly. Within these thoughts, look at your mind. How much there's virtuous thoughts? How much there's non-virtuous thoughts? Our thoughts are based on ignorance, then attachment, anger, pride, jealousy, so forth. Which are more? And there's virtuous thoughts like compassion, loving kindness to others, like 10 virtues. Very few. That's also very short. Even though I haven't seen in other commentaries, here said the Buddha's power or the might, here said the might of the Buddha, through the might of the Buddha. Buddha, there's two Buddhas, Buddha, historical Buddha, enlightened Buddha, and Buddha within the Buddha nature. I think this is good to put more insight. We have the Buddha nature, yet it is obscured, like giving example, the ignorance. Then, because of the ignorance, then there's anger, attachment, so forth. So these adventitious mental obscurations, they don't allow to manifest the virtuous thoughts, the obscured, like the darkness, ignorance, like there's no moon's light, the anger, there's no stars, cloudy, attachment. Even within this, there's some flash of light manifests out of Buddha nature. See, you ask in your mind, why everybody desire for peace and happiness? As you see, even small insect, those uneducated, ignorance, even like in the hell realm, who suffers thousands of years, still they dislike suffering. They cannot accustom to suffering. They still desire for peace and happiness. Why? And everyone, even those ruthless, has some type of compassion, loving kindness. So why? No, it's because the Buddha nature. Buddha nature is within. That Buddha nature manifests the light. See, the Buddha nature is nature of wisdom, nature of compassion, nature of loving kindness, the nature of peace, nature of joy. You see, it's unafflicted. It's called unafflicted compassion, loving kindness, unafflicted, say, joy, peace. Means, what it means is a mode of abiding, as I mentioned. It's nature. It's not a belief, it's reality, how it constitutes. No? Occasionally, certainly manifests something, some strong sense of compassion, loving kindness. And then it fades away. Sometimes you wonder why. I don't feel it. But sometimes it happens. Why? No? Our habit of the samsara is so kind of crude, so raw. No? Because we are so habituated in this negative habit. It feels natural. But when certain strong compassion, loving kindness comes in the mind, you feel so good. So then you wonder why it's not coming all the time. Why I feel this today? No? It's manifestation of the Buddha nature. Manifests, you see. So this is very important. So Buddha's power, so as mentioned, outside Buddha's power possible, it's more, we can say, from the inner Buddha's power. The outside Buddha gave us, as mentioned, all the instructions, methods, step by step, how to do, how to practice, how to understand, to reveal our inner Buddha. That's why Buddha said, I show you the path. You are the responsible for your practice and follow the path. See, Buddha doesn't have to create us Buddha nature. But Buddha, because we have Buddha nature, we simply need to follow the path. Like, for example, there's oil in the mustard seed. We don't have to create oil in the mustard seed because there is existence, the oil within in the mustard seed. But we simply have to know there is oil in the mustard seed, and then we have to know how to produce the oil from the mustard seed by all the necessary techniques, methods. So I think this is very important. So virtuous thoughts rise, brief, and transcends, so impermanent. Because we have not fully revealed it. So in our life we feel, sometimes you feel so joyful, so happy. We feel like home. This is what I want. But then it's so impermanent. Disappears. there comes fear, there comes hope. Because of adventitious obscuration. See? So look at these. So why we need to study, practice Buddha's teaching? See? As I mentioned, we study, practice Buddha's teaching because we are Buddhist. But the most important reason we study, practice Buddha's teaching for the liberation, to free from suffering. No? So actually, everybody has to do this, but they have not got enough fortune as we have. That's why we need to remind ourselves, I'm so fortunate. I have Buddha's teaching in my life. Because I have precious human life, I met Buddha's teaching, a teacher, so I'm so fortunate. So remind ourselves. Our Dharma study, practice is joyful. It is something that I'm facing problems, suffering. Dharma teaching is how to free from the suffering. See? How to have peace and happiness. Moment. When you know how to breathe out, relax, keep your mind calm, peace. That's a peace, that happiness. How you feel good about that? Because you are touching to your Buddha nature. See? When you have strong anger, desire, how you feel uncomfortable. No. We are enslaved by these negative emotions, life after life, and we still don't know. We have not still awakened. No. So when we have put precious human life, which talked, now when we have some this kind of a glimpse of wisdom, see this nature, there is a possibility. I can do it. I can make it. See, the stanza 6. Thus, constructive behavior is constantly weak, while negative forces are extremely strong and most unbearable. Except for a full bodhicitta aim, can anything else constructive outshine it? Here it is said, virtue thus is weak, and always evil is of great and overwhelming strength. Except for perfect bodhicitta, what other virtue is there that can lay it low? So now, we have some little compassion sometimes. Some virtuous thoughts, but very weak, he said here. No? He said, virtue thus is weak. Sometimes we practice little generosity. Sometimes we feel some empathy. Or samsara is nature of suffering, you feel sometimes, but very weak. Then, see, always evil is of great and overwhelming. Our anger, strong desire, pride, they're so strong. We're just taken by them. We're powerless. Sometimes we say samsara is illusion. Yeah, I know it's illusion, but we say, but I need, this and that, all and so forth, So we are fully, our attention is taken by this. Our renunciation of samsara is very weak. So, when we are sick, so then we take refuge in the doctor. we take refuge in the medicine. We forgot Buddha, Dharma, you know. But when we die, then what? Doctor cannot help us. The medicine cannot help us. Now what we should do? See, it's very important, see. So at that time, we as a Buddhist, we just rely on Buddha. Buddha, please give me blessing. No? But we forgot. When we're able to practice, when we have ability, opportunity, that time we forgot. We enjoy samsara. No? Then at the end, when there's nothing can help, then say, Buddha, please. You know? So it's saying here, look at this, our reality life. How much we rely on samsaric things when we have chance, opportunity. When nothing can help, your best friend, best family, who respect you so much, who love you so much, at the time of death, they cannot do anything. They can only cry, please don't die. That much they can say. That time, who can help? So look at those. So I think this saying is very good in I think maybe in other places as well. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Have you heard of this? Men set the good goal and prepare and say, if I face these difficulties, how I can challenge. So look at this. At that time, when nothing can help us, at that time, which one really helps? So that's why we Buddhists, who has precious human life, contemplate on this and prepare. See, so here saying, evil is of great overwhelming strength. So mention, we are enslaved by our negative thoughts, life after life, life after life. No, we become the servant of our anger, our attachment. We are feeding them. No? They are giving us order to fulfill my desire, to fulfill my anger. So do this, do that, do that. And we are so obedient, isn't it? Oh yes, okay, I will do this for you, you know. So it's overwhelming strength. They're so powerful. They are so powerful, you know. So in this kind of practice, sometimes you feel so kind of stress. So you feel, what should I do now? No. So sometimes you go to temple, pray. No, those doesn't help. So except for perfect bodhicitta. Here perfect bodhicitta means bodhicitta is a Buddha's mind. See, Buddha's mind is the perfect. So that mind will help us. Nothing else. What other virtues is there that can lay it low? So these negative thoughts, afflictions, kleshas, other virtuous thoughts have no much power to reduce these negative thoughts. Only the bodhicitta, the relative bodhicitta, the absolute bodhicitta can help us. It's because Buddha attained Buddhahood because of bodhicitta. See, one of the writings of Jigten Sumkun, he said, Buddha is the embodiment of bodhicitta. So, when you have bodhicitta, then it becomes the absolute antidote, remedy, first to reduce these negative thoughts, then slowly, slowly to eliminate, to uproot them is the bodhicitta. When you have strong anger, for example, that time you see, going to temple, praying has not much power. That time, if you have bodhicitta, everybody desire to free from suffering, desire to achieve Buddhahood. So why my anger to such individual? That person also desire for peace and happiness. That person also desire to free from suffering. So why I'm angry about this? So your anger becomes powerless. So look at this. So we'll come step by step. Here is talking about the excellence of the bodhicitta, the benefits of the bodhicitta. So we have to look at this first. How much bodhicitta has a power, ability, quality, not as a Buddhist belief, but we actually should see it. Amidst of confusion, delusion, turmoil, when there's a bodhicitta, it's like a mountain. See, if I say one story, do you know the 37 Bodhisattvas path? I'm sure everybody knows that. 37 Bodhisattvas path. The writer of that great master, Thomas Ambo, he was invited to a village and he performed some teachings, whatever he did. And then he got a lot of offerings from them. So he and his monks, I don't know how many monks they did, so they took the offerings and went. When they arrived in an isolated place, a group of bandit robbers came because they know that he has a lot of wealth that he received. So the robbers, the bandits, the robbers, they started attacking them. And his monks, they start fighting now. So then he was watching them, His monks, they are defending, them, and the robbers, they're coming, stole them. Then at that moment, he said, please come here, everybody, sit here, sit. All the bandits, his monks, he asked to sit there. He said, now, let us think carefully, He said, now you all calm down your mind, he said. Actually, he said, this all is wealth is not these monks, it's mine, he said. People offer to me, So, you bandits, robbers, don't think you are robbing them, taking away forcefully from us or from me. And these you monks, don't defend, relax yourself. So I give you all this to you all, said. So let us practice, he said. I practice with the compassion, bodhicitta. I'm giving you this all to you, to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. And you also, the bandits, don't think you are robbing from us, from me. Instead, you just meditate that He is giving this us all to us, giving this to us. And then with this, you cultivate bodhicitta. We accept these offerings, gifts, to cultivate bodhicitta, to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. And you all monks who are helping me also practice this. He said that like this, Otherwise it will become chaos, you see. The bandits are strong, and these monks also strong. They will fight to death, So instead, with this skillful method, he brought everything in the peace. Became a Dharma practice. See? And he said, I'm so grateful you came. I got such great opportunity to do this practice. He said, I thank you. So that's a bodhicitta, you see. So when difficult things happen, we appreciate giving us opportunity to remind our Dharma practice. It's not just a spiritual practice. It's just a skillful method based on wisdom and compassion to bring the peace and happiness that we desire for us and for others. See? In the samsara, since we don't know how to do this, we destroy each other. We suffer. See? Only suffering. The result is suffering. What do we want? We want peace and happiness. We want to free from suffering. But we chase the suffering. So this is a saying, what other virtue is there that can lay it low? So this anger, attachment, this all can reduce step by step, you see. This one just simple example. So with this, there's a method. And for this one, 7. Here, the kings of the sages, having thoroughly reflected for many aeons, have seen this very mind to be of best health. For by it, limitless masses of beings will quickly and easily attain supreme bliss. So here, for many aeons, deeply pondering, the mighty sages saw its benefit, whereby unnumbered multitudes are brought with ease to supreme joy. See? Now this is what it's saying. Buddha, our historical Buddha, or the many Buddhas, like our historical Buddha for 3 limitless aeons, practice the Dharma. We all know this historically. What Buddha has practiced? Bodhicitta. For many eons, deeply pondering, he investigated, he practiced. By practicing himself, how much benefit he got, how much he can benefit other sentient beings. So the conclusion is the bodhicitta. So its benefit, bodhicitta's benefit. There's no other way. Such a wonderful, All the Buddhas were discussing, so what's the best to help sentient beings? those who are suffering helplessly. Says the Bodhisattva is the absolute solution to free from entire suffering and the causes of suffering. No. Because, see, as I mentioned, we're Buddha nature. To reveal the Buddha nature is the Bodhisattva. See, there's a ground Buddha nature, the path Buddha nature, and the result Buddha nature. The ground Buddha nature is endowed by all sentient beings as a potential, as a basis, as a seed to reveal that the direct active cause is the Bodhisattva as a path. Because Buddha nature is a mentioned nature of peace, compassion, loving kindness, wisdom, clarity. We use those as in a path. How to keep our mind more in the peace. How to apply our mind in the practice of compassion, loving kindness. How to see things clearly, precisely by the wisdom, about the causality. What's the cause of suffering? What's the cause of peace and happiness? See these things and then apply into practice as a path. When we could do this more productively, directly, all the temporary, adventitious delusions, obscurations diminish, purify themselves, and reveal Buddha nature. So enlightenment is not coming from outside, as you know. Enlightenment is coming within. No. Wherever you are, when you are enlightened, that's a Buddha field. There's no special place to go. No? So that's, see. So many sentient beings are benefited by this Buddha nature, by this Buddhist practice. In the future, it same will continue. No? See, here whereby unnumbered multitude are brought with ease to spring joys. Mission. All the great Bodhisattvas, the Buddhas of the past, present, future, attain Buddhahood by the Bodhisattva practice. Great Bodhisattvas, they become Bodhisattva because of the Bodhisattva. No. So it's not something difficult. It's not something new. But we are following the example of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, their path. We are just following the footsteps of the Buddha. But we have to know how to do this. So it's such a precious, you see. In the midst of your mind delusion, if you have some sense of love and compassion, there's some ease. You feel some relax. See, it's a healing. See, if you see so much chaos there, within that, you just say, this is impermanent, transitory nature. Everyone is suffering so much. Reflect on that and develop some sense of compassion. How much peace is there? Its joy is there. See? So he's teaching us how to develop within us. So we individually have the responsibility, and we have the opportunity, and we have the capacity to do this. And rejoice. I know how to do this. So I'm so fortunate. Now I need to reflect repeatedly, remind myself, and practice this. I'm sure many of you know Miller Rinpoche's life story. When you look at Miller Rinpoche's life story, it looks like so misery. No food, no clothes, out in the mountain, nowhere, nobody there. Looks like very sad, depressing. But look at his mind. He's so joyful. Because one time his sister came complaining about his life. I haven't seen Dhamma practitioner like you. There are so many great teachers I saw. They're enjoying their lives, sitting in the high throne, lot of offerings, lot of pujas, playing, these cymbals, drums, and all this. Everyone, his family, his brothers, sisters, and all disciples enjoying so much. And here you are, no even food, no clothes. How you can bear these things, She complained. And then he said, yes, I know. I practice this way. Buddha taught to free from samsara. That's what I'm doing. No, yes, you are right, he said. No, I do this to repay the kindness of the sentient beings. So while I'm doing this, if somebody sees my situation, it's heartbreaking. If somebody sees my food, it's disgusting. If somebody sees my body, it's skeleton. Even enemies will build tears in the eyes. When you see my sister, when you see me, it's shameful, embarrassing. But when Buddha sees my mind, nothing but joy. Buddha is delighted, you see. That's his confidence. He's doing this with such a great joy, feeling of appreciation, feeling of how fortunate I am. He said some other things. I'm so fortunate, he said. I met Marba, great translator, who gave the Dhamma teachings to achieve enlightenment in one single lifetime. He said, I'm the most fortunate. That's Dharma, you see. Mentally, how to build the courage and appreciation. It's because the Bodhisattva. So we, in the midst of chaos, there's a possibility to have real clarity, peace, joy. Always appreciate that. Remind us. So Bodhisattva is our best friend, best teacher. So that's he are brought with ease to supreme joy. Bodhisattva makes everything ease. Yes.
Rinpoche, I'd like to ask, bodhicitta, is it the same as Buddha nature, or is it that bodhicitta is a way to manifest the Buddha nature until perfect? If it is just a way to manifest the Buddha nature, what are the other ways that are available? Thank you.
See, Buddha nature is, as I mentioned, a potential seed. The seed we have within. That's why we all have the possibility to become Buddha. Every milk has the butter. Because of that, whatever there's milk, you can produce butter, you know. So there's Buddha nature. Bodhicitta is the method to reveal Buddha nature. So I want to attain Buddhahood, which will come now later here. Aspiration bodhicitta, you aspire to become Buddha. First you cultivate that. Then, how to attain Buddhahood? By bodhicitta. Then there comes action bodhicitta. It's called action. What's the action? Practice of 6 parameters. See, so well, you aspire to become Buddha. Now, how to make strong my bodhicitta? By practice of generosity, which will come, you know, like say, giving wealth, giving fearlessness, giving wisdom. Not just only wealth, generosity. Then, the practice of morality means avoiding cause of suffering and bringing the cause of peace and happiness. See, virtue is called morality. Patience, no. All this shortcoming of the mind purify. Fearlessness is a practice of patience. And then the practice of the perseverance, joyous effort, as I mentioned, practice joyfully. Feeling of so fortunate, no? Like say, just example, giving of some things. Oh, so I'm so happy I can give this, you know, without expectation. So that kind of, I'm so happy to keep my, 5 precepts. I'm so fortunate I could do this. It's effort. And then calm abiding. Keep your mind calm, always peaceful. And then discriminating awareness, wisdom, knowing right from wrong, mind clear, looking at the illusory nature of the phenomena. So these are the method to enhance the bodhicitta. What it means, these are the method to purify our mental afflictions. See, the cause of suffering. So that's the bodhicitta. See, that becomes such a method to reveal Buddha nature. See, when through this, all the gross and subtle obscurations are fully kind of purified, dissipated, then one becomes the Buddha. Then Buddha nature is fully revealed. You know what is the Buddha. So that's one.